come to actually understanding of love, we must have a level of faith. But in order to love someone, there must be understanding of who that person is. So therefore, this is Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangha Sajayate. That this knowledge here is the science of God. Science of knowledge of God. It is knowing who God is, who we are, what our relationship with Him is. And so it's like especially at this time of the year, right? What is it? Thanksgiving just went by, and then Christmas coming up, and then we got New Year's. Season of, you could say, a season of love, where is that love is in the air. And
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Love is in the air. Is that a thing? Is that what you do? Is that what you say here? No, you don't say that here. Certain extent, it should be, right? Thanksgiving means generally a loving atmosphere. You generally, what do they kill turkeys though? Yeah. That's what it's, yeah. But meant to be a loving atmosphere, based on love, meant to be. And even your Christmas is meant to be based on love. That coming together, it's more about family coming together and sharing a bondage of love. Or New Year's also, another level of love. So it is the season where more or less everybody feels that a little bit more. Connection, right? That's like the overall theme, connection. And that connection specifically ties into love. Because when you think about connection, yoga, we particularly think about that loving mood and loving attitude, or that loving reciprocation with someone. Just like, where was, we were going, there's like football games going on in downtown right now. And they've got these big billboards of like, different advertisements. And one of them is Santa Claus has got a Coca-Cola, and then there's someone else, a normal person with another Coca-Cola. And it was like, make the connection or something like that. And it was more or less an understanding that, it's a time to have some sort of loving reciprocation, and that Coca-Cola is going to give you that loving reciprocation, which maybe not true. But it's the feeling that it creates. So how can you even understand love? Well, it's a feeling, right? So how can you even explain what love is? Well, you could say in one sense, you cannot, because it is a feeling. But there are symptoms of love. There is how to love is given. Not that just, you love someone, okay, I love you, that's all. Okay, I have faith in you, that's all. No. Love means there's action. There's showing how one loves someone. Because there is that idea that you just believe and that's all you need to do, that you don't need to do anything else at all, and that's it. And then you get liberation. You go back to the abode of enjoyment. But specific point made in the tradition of bhakti, or in any normal life, any logical thing, if you love someone, you can't just tell them I love you. Actually, in traditional culture, this is not even said. And it sounds really sad, and I tell Ali Krishna this. My parents never told me they love me. Everyone's like, what? He's shocked. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Why? Because they don't need to. There's no need for someone who genuinely loves you that to tell you, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Okay, but you never do anything for me. But there is a culture overall of duty. That the mother, why does the mother love a child? Anybody can answer? Why? Huh? It's a part of her, sure. But it doesn't do her any benefit. It kicks her, cries. So some video, the mothers only sleep like 3 hours, 4 hours a day when the child is first born for the first year or something. That's like torture. It's like a little thing that's torturing you, right? Well, that's kind of how it's looked at nowadays. But better that you chase career than chase that little kid around, right? But mother naturally loves her child. Why? Just because. Why? It can do no benefit to her. But she feels that. She feels that love. out of duty, that, okay, this child needs my protection. And she shows that. She doesn't just tell the love, I love you. She actually goes out of the way. She cooks for the child. She makes sure the child is fed. Her whole day is centered around, she's conscious of the child the whole day. Every single moment of her day, she's conscious of the child. So it is shown. So it may not be even said sometimes. In the Western world, it's like, if you don't say it, then you don't. There's no love. It has to be shown to the whole world. You better put it on Instagram, right? If you don't put it on Instagram, then there's no love. There's no love in your life. If you have a girlfriend and you didn't put it on your Instagram, then, you're in trouble, my man. You can't be posting pictures. So love is shown in the world, and what's interesting about it is that the contrast of the culture of duty and love and the artificial love that comes about. We say it in the modern world, but it almost is like it's not shown. So the point being that we need to understand that love is there, but without understanding of how to love someone, what it means to love someone, then it simply frustrates you and it frustrates the other person. You say love, but then you don't. You just do the complete opposite. Somebody says, "Oh yeah, you love someone and they really like roses," and you get them some dandelions or something. I don't know. You pick up something off the street and you give it to them. You're like, "What is this?" It's okay. It's like, all right, it's kind of a nice gesture, but if you really want to love someone, you got to do something special for them. So otherwise, it's frustrating. Otherwise, it's really frustrating. Your parents tell you they love you, and then they kick you out the house the next day. Like, what the? When my parents were shocked that when you turn 18, your parents ask you to leave home. Like, at least, I guess it's the same in America too, where the kids leave home. But that was like not a concept to my parents at all. You never ask your kids to leave home. They always stay with you, and that's a part of the loving tradition that is there. And they're always, my parents, how do they love their children? How can you ask your children to leave home? So it becomes frustrating when we don't know what love, or how to love someone, or where to place our love. Sometimes we place our love in the wrong places. Just like, there's different levels of love, of course. Also, just like we have love that is based on service, just like it may be like that you work at a job. And some level of loving relationship is there with your co-worker, and you kind of just go for a coffee together, right? That's what you do, or I don't know, for a lunch break together. And that's kind of the end of that's your relationship. And then you've got your friends, who you go out together, you do things for them, you buy presents for them on their birthday, such and such and such, and you take them out and you talk with them, all of your life's problems and such and such. And then you've got your love with your parents. And what's seen in the world as the ultimate love is generally love with the opposite sex, or maybe same sex nowadays. So the love that is a little bit more intimate, that actually presents one, how can you say? Well, you could say that's what people regard the highest sort of love, right? That intimate, loving relationship with the partner that is there. So, but we may not know. We may choose the wrong object of love, and it be frustrated. For example, when sometimes you become attracted towards someone. And that attraction may be there, but then you notice one thing. Okay, this person, this dude, or this person is very beautiful, has very nice hair, very beautiful eyes, and beautiful this and beautiful that and that. But the guy picks his nose and eats his boogers. It's like, okay. It's like all of the attraction this person had, just lost it in one shot. And generally for the guys, it's like, okay, yeah, she's very beautiful. She has very good hair. Oh my God, it's like. What's that? Bruno Mars. When she smiles, the whole world stops and stares for a while. That's like the song, right? But then she farts, and it's like, and then whole world just looked away. That's it, that's done, we're done, finished, that's it, you lost all attraction. And sometimes it might be too late. You might be in the relationship and it's all love, and then you find out later, oh God, that one thing, oh dude. So there's always that one thing. We're trying to place our love in so many places. But there's always, Prabhupada says that actually in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that externally this whole world looks very wonderful. Everything is going on so nicely. Your cars are running nicely, your buildings are being built, your whatever, everything is going on so nicely. But there's a pinprick in society. In every aspect of our life, when we're trying to place our love in this world, there's a pinprick. There's always something that's not perfect that puts us off. Whether we recognize it immediately or whether we recognize it a little bit later down the line. It's always like that one thing. It's like, damn, dude, that's what makes it not perfect. It could have been perfect. Oh, this and this quality and this quality and this person, that. Oh, wow, that's so amazing. Then that one thing, oh, she farts, finished. Oh, damn. It's like, what do you expect, dude? It's like, but it's just an example, But the point being that there's always a level of frustration because our love is placed in the wrong direction. Even the greatest of lovers, you could say, whoever that may be, Romeo, Juliet, anyways, or whatever, whoever you may define, even that is separated eventually. That so-called perfect love that may be seen in the world, happily ever after, Shrek and Fiona, right? I'm sorry, all these mundane examples that I'm giving, maybe I should give more examples from the Bhagavatam. But even that so-called love, at the end of it, is generally separated. It falls apart, whether it's by death or whether it's by some argument or problems or whatever it may be. It's conditional. So the nature of these relationships in this world, the nature of love in this world, is compared in the Shastra, in the scriptures, as like two sticks in the ocean, or the river, or whatever twigs in a river. Twigs in a river is a better example. Better, that's what the analogy gives, is that they come together and they separate. So similarly in this world, that we come together and we separate. And different ideas of love and relationships, they frustrate us in this world. Because love in this world can never be perfect. That is the nature of it. As long as we're looking for love within this world, it'll never be perfect. Not that love doesn't exist, but love exists in some small quantities, you could say. Just like Srila Prabhupada says, we're looking for an ocean of happiness, we're hankering for one drop. We're looking for an ocean of love, ultimately, but we're hankering for that one drop in this world with different material bodies and different persons. So, it is really important to understand what the object of love is. Where is love actually meant to be directed? Where is our lives actually meant to be directed? Just like the mother is satisfied to some extent by, completely directing all of her energy to loving the child. She becomes satisfied actually to a great extent because she's able to give that love. And in time, that love may not be able to exhibit it the same way because, again, time separates that. But this object of love is a great deal of discussion within the Bhagavad Gita, within the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this object of love has to be analyzed properly. Where is that object meant to be? Well, it's generally that we want someone to be perfect, just like I was saying. We want someone to be perfect. We want that perfect person, perfectly beautiful, perfectly strong, perfectly knowledgeable, perfectly wealthy, perfectly renounced. All of those perfection, Shad Aishwarya Purnam, all of these opulences in full. We don't want any lacking. Generally, when we have lacking, then we just kind of accept life. Okay, all right, I gotta get what I can get, boss. At least I'll just settle for this one. Generally, that's how life goes. So yeah, I wish I could get that model, but I guess I'll just settle for this one. That's where I'm at. So, but actually we want that. Ultimately we want that. Ultimately we want that perfect person. But within this material world, it will never be possible. That beauty fades, strength fades, wealth can fade very quickly. So all of these so-called opulences within this material world from different persons, they are not everlasting. But we're looking for that. We're looking for that in every individual relationship. We're looking for that reciprocation. Sometimes we love someone and they don't even love you back. They don't care at all. For example, you may admire a superstar, or maybe just admire someone close by, but they may not even give you any significance at all. So the nature of love in this world is very frustrating, very hurtful. There's a lot of pain when that love is directed within this material world. But it is the nature of the soul to do that. So it's trying to exhibit that in different ways through this material body, through this and other material bodies. But it's not possible to get for the living entity. And we constantly try, but if we actually kind of analyze, it's the case for every single person. It's not that I will become lucky and yes, I'll find love and happily ever after. It's never like that. But actually the real position of the living entity is that its original position is like that. We have experience of that actually. The living entity, the soul beyond this body, is yearning for that. It's yearning for that. It's actually looking for that. Because it's there. It's there. But that is there not with the love of this world, but the love of the spiritual world. With love of God. And so that means that this love is meant to be directed towards God, but we have to understand who God is. Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam. We have to understand the science of God, the knowledge. Science means to understand something nicely, perfectly. Of course, God is unlimited, so a perfect understanding may not be there, but at least our individual relationship with Him perfectly. All knowing of our individual relationship with Him. So, when one actually starts to recognize this factor in his life, that this real love is meant to be directed someone towards God Himself, then he should inquire about who that God is, not just place faith and call it a day. Because when we start to know what God likes, what He wants us to do for Him, then that loving reciprocation begins. Because God is unlimited, you as a living entity are very limited, but God is so amazing that He can reciprocate with you very individually. And that's the amazing aspect of God, qualities of God, is that He is very individual in His reciprocation with every living entity. My spiritual master gives an example of like a jigsaw puzzle. And we're like the little piece of the puzzle. And we fit right in, when we have a proper understanding of what our position is, we fit right into the bigger picture. We fit into Krishna's picture. It's harmonious. And God is able to have that individual relationship with every single one of us, and it's very different. Neither can I take your relationship, neither can you take mine. And so He has this very individual relationship with each and every one of us. And Krishna reciprocates perfectly with each and every one of us. That's what we want. We want everybody in our lives, the people that we love in our lives, to reciprocate with us perfectly. But most of the cases it's not. But Krishna can do that. Krishna does that with His devotees. And therefore in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes this point, Priti Purvakam, therefore approach me with love. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I shall give you that knowledge. Therefore, bhakti is the highest. because it invokes love, because love is the highest platform on which one can capture someone. One can capture God by his love. And so it means knowing what we should do in order to gather God's attention, you could say. Just like when you love someone, you want to grab their attention by doing what? Maybe cooking very nicely for them, maybe buying them very nice presents, maybe buying very nice flowers for them, whatever it may be. You want to catch their attentions. You want them to be conscious of you. You become conscious of someone you love. Just like when there's a lot of infatuation, when you start to like someone, you're always just thinking about them. Never ends. You go to sleep, you wake up, you look forward to go to school because you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to see this person. But they may not be thinking about you. But God, when you're thinking about God like this, Krishna conscious, God is always remembering, also seeing, also reciprocating. But how to do that? How to do that? Therefore the science of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore the science of spiritual life, this Srimad Bhagavatam, is teaching us how to act in such a way, how to move in this world in such a way that there is a constant reciprocation of love with God in the center of our lives. This bhakti yoga, connection to God all the time in all aspects. Therefore, the teachings of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is of the topmost important because they speak about on the platform of pure love, not an exchange of some material thing, not an exchange of some business transaction, not an exchange of just sex, not an exchange of just material relationship on the platform, on that platform, but on the spiritual platform, on the eternal platform. So Krishna gives advice, proper advice in how to do that, how to situate one's life in such a way that he can always come to that, be in that connection with God, yoga. And so he speaks about karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga. And so Krishna tells Arjuna all of the things that he likes, priti purvakam, that how to offer that in love, what he wants. So the process of Krishna consciousness helps us come to the platform of performing those actions. As you see, Krishna likes fresh flowers. And you can see. So we offer him fresh flowers. Krishna likes his devotees dressed in a particular manner. So we dress to please the Lord, just like when you dress, for the men you may dress to impress the women, and for the women they may dress to impress the men. Similarly, we dress in order to impress Krishna. It's the dress of the spiritual world. We cook in order to impress Krishna, just like a lover cooks to please her lover. Or his lover. So we cook for Krishna. And what does Krishna like to eat? It's mentioned, well, he likes that which is vegetarian, not meat and all this and that. So we situate our lives completely centered around what God likes, what Krishna likes. Because it's not done with fear. Generally, the idea is that fear God. Fear God, therefore act. But actually, Krishna makes the point, no, priti purvakam. You act in love. Therefore, the tradition of bhakti, it specifically makes this point. And that love is shown by one's ability to give up one's own selfish desires and engage in that activity which is pleasing to God. Just like that's natural also in this world. Generally, just like there may be seen so many circumstances where the girl or the guy maybe have a particular bad habit in his life. It's like a chain smoker. But then due to that level of bondage of love between the lover and the beloved, lover and the beloved, the person gives up smoking. It's not that the person was tortured to give up smoking, now his life is hell. No, he gave it up because in order to facilitate that love. Similarly, in our lives, we give up those things which are not helpful in that loving reciprocation with Krishna, such as intoxication, illicit sex, gambling, meat eating, 4 principles which keeps us bound in this world. Why do we do those? Not because of fear, not because of some manipulation, idea of, oh, well, I'm going to get something else. No, because of love, to try to satisfy Krishna. So this Krishna consciousness movement, it functions on this love. It is the intrinsic nature of God consciousness, is to love God. And this specific love takes place when that attitude of service is present in our life. Selfless service. When one is able to serve without considering one's own desires. So I could be doing so many other things with my life right now. God, what am I doing, living at a monastery? But we've given up to some extent, this is still so many other desires within our heart. And you may not live in a monastery, that's not the point. But we give up our ideas of our own enjoyment in this world. And therefore take upon, by the attitude of service to God, we derive a much greater level of enjoyment than anyone could in this material world. Otherwise, it's not possible to go on with all the different level of austerities that are there in spiritual life. So the attitude of service, of selfless service to Krishna, that is the service tendency, the living entity's tendency to serve should be directed towards Krishna in love. And you'll always be satisfied. You'll always be happy in all circumstances. Because why? Because it's not dependent on how beautiful this body is, how much you can give someone a beautiful present, or how much. It's all presented on the platform of the soul. And actually our teachers make the point, and even when the body becomes invalid, our service can be done on the level of our mind. It is beyond just this physical body. It's not conditioned in any way. Unconditioned love, everybody wants that. So that is available in Krishna. That is available in Krishna consciousness. So when we take up the process, especially of this chanting of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that is love. That is love. Why? Because you always want to think about your lover. You always want to say the name of the lover. So we're always trying to be 24 hours a day engaged in remembering Krishna. Actually, that's the greatest of all advice. Tannama charitadi sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasanama nisiniyoja tishtan vraje tadanaragi jananugami kalam nayid akilamiti upadesasaram. Of essence of all advice is that one should chant the holy name of the Lord 24 hours a day. That will satisfy you completely. You don't need anything else. You don't need food, you don't need water, you don't need anything. No sleep required. Are we ready? I'm joking. Actually, that was the situation of some of our teachers. They overcame sleeping and eating, and just completely satisfied on the platform of loving Krishna. Absorbed so much in loving Krishna, just completely forgetful of this world. So that is the power of real love. That one becomes completely detached from this world and attached to the spiritual world. And you can see that yourself. Srila Prabhupada says in Srimad Bhagavatam, we were just reading in the mornings, that it is present in the lives. It is not just, we're not just talking about this and just like, oh yeah, it's a nice philosophy and this and that, good to think about. And we're living it actually. We're actually seeing it, pratyaksha vagamam dharmyam, seeing it in our lives. So it becomes the duty of human life. It becomes it is the natural way of life. This Krishna conscious way of life is not an artificial imposition upon the mind. It is the natural state of the living entity, this loving reciprocation with Krishna at all times. Therefore, as we often say, every word is a song and every step is a dance in Krishna consciousness. It is, because that's what love is like. When you fall in love with someone, everything is colorful in life. It's like Mickey Mouse and it's, everything. Everything becomes like amazing when you fall in love with someone. But, we have experience that ends. But it's Krishna consciousness, well, you can ask devotees who've been doing it for 20 years, 50 years. It's ever fresh and new. Nava yauvanam cha. It's ever fresh in you. That's how we want that love. The initial feeling we get with someone when we fall in love and it's like wonderful and amazing. We want that to go on for life. But Krishna consciousness is actually like that. And you can talk to devotees who've been practicing for years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and they'll say, yeah, I've been practicing whatever, 8 years. And yeah, it's actually like that, and it's inconceivable. I would have never thought. I was very doubtful. I was always very doubtful of this. But yeah, when you become situated on the platform of trying to become Krishna conscious, start to experience that the steady stream of loving reciprocation with Krishna that is constantly there when we're able to fight through the selfish desires that we have. So you can experience that. Nava yauvanam chai, ever fresh and blissful, loving reciprocation with our beloved Krishna. And that amazing is part about that is just like in the beginning I said, okay, all these relationships are there in different extents of as someone who you just have a business with and you work with, or a friend, or as a parent, or as a genuine lover. All of these are available in Krishna. We can have all of those different loving relationships with Krishna. So this is Bhakti Yoga. This is the platform of loving reciprocation with God. So, by taking this process up, we can actually experience what real love is. And when we're established on that platform of love, then, the other relationships we may have in this world become significant because they're centered around the beloved. Whether it's a relationship between a man and a woman, or it's a relationship between friends, it's a relationship between parents. When that love is situated with Krishna in the center, then that also has significance to it. That also has proper value to it now. So, by performing this Krishna consciousness, we can solve all of our problems. Beginning with the main issue in our life, we're lacking a level of love. So, that is some analysis of love and some understanding of it. So, like I said, it begins with chanting this holy name and trying to remember Krishna always, 24 hours a day. You may not be able to chant on your beats 24 hours a day, but you can at least try to always have it going on, whether it's by listening lectures, or whether it's by coming and associating, or whether it's by cooking for Krishna and offering it to Krishna, offering flowers to Krishna, doing different services you will see around the temple. Even sometimes we're cleaning, and we're always doing everything with Krishna in the center. So, but it begins here by chanting and hearing. So thank you so much for giving some of your attention. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much, or hopefully you're not getting too tired of me just hearing me speak. But he's going to hand around some beads while he does that. Is there any questions or comments anyone would like to ask or make? Anything? Okay, Avadu Chandra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with one of the monks recently at the monastery, and he was making the point about, we all practice celibacy, abstaining from illicit sex, and he was making this point that, that's actually easy, but to live within a society of devotees and to practice cooperation, he says that's the real challenge. These other things, such as just the basic standards for a human being to function properly within this world.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to maybe comment on that. Or.
Yeah. When you have a lot of people together, it can be hard if there's selfish motives. But I've noticed in my life, if there is a level of selflessness there, everything functions like a real nice machine. As soon as selfish desire comes, then it stops working. Then you have problems. You can always look, if you're having problems in your life, you're, what am I doing wrong? Selfish desires.
You give that nice analogy of the jigsaw puzzle also, and Prabhupada would make that same analogy with the machine and the screw.
Yeah. Cog in the machine, That's like the, yeah. So yeah, it's important. That's why it's stressed so much in Krishna consciousness. Selfless. Everything functions really nicely when we're selflessly serving Krishna. But when they start to, personal desire comes in, everything is destroyed. And you can understand that. You can understand that within different communities we've been in our lives. That some things are sometimes running really well and everybody's running really well, but then somebody has a selfish motive and then it destroys and it leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Everyone's like, okay, now I don't feel like being selfless anymore. But that is the platform of surrender. Even amongst those situations, you have to learn to be selfless. That is actually love towards Krishna. Actually, that's tested by Krishna. We're tested in so many ways. And Prabhupada said that. Your love will be shown by how well you can cooperate together. So it's really important that we cultivate that selfless service to Krishna. When we can do that, then you can see it becomes very attractive. I only joined this movement because of that, actually. I saw that. Like Vaishnavas are very, there's like that true dealings compared to the material world. So it was very inspiring. But then you also see that within Vaishnava society of false dealings and such because people have their own motives and such. But if you study the science enough, you realize that's not what real Krishna consciousness is, and it doesn't bother you. So therefore, knowledge, Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam, in order to come to the platform of perfect Krishna consciousness, you must understand this knowledge. Me and Ali Krishna Prabhu, I was showing him some commentaries of the Acharyas in a particular book that I'm studying right now, Nectar of Instruction. Actually, it's all the different commentaries. And the level of detail our teachers go into on the path of bhakti, of how one may stray, and the symptoms of straying. And it gives very clear different anarthas and what particular things stopping us from getting over those anarthas. And it's so detailed. It's like, whoa, they know us inside out before we even begin the process. They know us. It's a science. It really is. Prabhupada says it's a science of devotional service. And you read and you understand, it's like, whoa, this is literally, it's like literally A plus B equals C. It's like it spells it out for you. But one must be willing to understand also. One must be ready to understand. Therefore, like I'm saying, Bhagavad Tattva Vigyan, it's a science. You must learn it. And to not become distressed or overcome by our emotions in different circumstances, which may be very difficult, and not become disturbed, become adhira, become fixed in Krishna consciousness, requires that. Vijnanam, realized knowledge, not just knowledge itself. So yeah, just something about that. Okay, Iman Mataji had something.
Hare Krishna. So you spoke a lot on like what real bhakti is, and having that that selfless and unmotivated intentions when it comes to doing our devotional service. Coming from a background where we're actually learning about relationships, and then about the lover and the beloved.
Sorry, what was that? I missed it.
When we're in like relationships, like from like previous relationships, we learn about like being with the beloved and the beloved and the loved. So then, coming from a way of thinking that, oh, if I do this for this person, then I get this out of this. Having with that conditioning. So then when we come, or for me personally, when I first came, I of course was like, okay, what am I going to get out of this? So now I'm asking, when that reciprocation is there, how can we know, or how can we tell that that reciprocation, is there? And when will we know, or when will we see that that tendency for that selflessness is there? Because if you're doing your service, then of course you get something out of it, but I don't want to make it seem like, what do I get out of this? But I do want to know, like, what does that reciprocation, like, actually look like?
Sure. Generally, yeah, in the West, how to win friends and influence people. There's a famous, everybody knows this book? Yeah? What's the author's name? Huh? Dale Carnegie. It's a big, really famous book. How to win friends so that you can influence them. Isn't it? It's actually the whole point of friendship is not to do that, but then you do that, so your friendship is established on that basis. And that's what we learn from day one, basically, in growing up in modern society or even different societies, just material life in general. So yeah, we're always looking to get something out. We're always ultimately looking to get pleasure out. So how can we come to a point of Krishna consciousness where we want, obviously we want that reciprocation from Krishna. That's what we're looking for. But it's not conditional, or it's not motivated by material thing. Well, then that has to be seen that sometimes Krishna puts us through particular challenges in which there's no reason for us to go through it. There's no reason. There's no reason to actually undergo that difficulty. Just like you could just go home right now. You don't have to do all this. You go home and enjoy life, that's all. Enjoy your senses. But sometimes there may be very difficult times and you're sticking it out for Krishna. And when do you know the reciprocation is there? How will you know? Well, you don't know. That's the point also. Ainanatanaja kinkaram patitamam vishame bhavamudo kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadirsham vachintaya. That you may trample me under your feet or you may embrace me with your love. That's what it means to also love. That you don't expect anything actually. You don't expect anything. And my spiritual master, in my recent conversation with him here, he's specifically making this point. He said, this mercy thing, I don't really understand it. He's like, I don't know what it, I don't understand it. It comes in so many forms. You may think, okay, I want reciprocation, so you're going to feel overwhelming love in my heart if I do this service. Maybe by doing that service, you may feel a lot of pain in your heart. It's like, damn, me and Ali Krishna know. It's like we do a service. It's like so much different levels of like pain is there, not physically, but like emotionally. And you're trying to do a service, and there's like a constant level of like back and forth, and you get to a point you don't know what to do, and it's like bewildering, and it's like, whoa, what do we do? Well, we just because we're gonna pray to Krishna. That's it. That's the only hope we have. That's all we got now. Krishna is saying yesterday, Krishna is the only hope we have now. It's like, yeah, I guess that's how we should think of it all the time. But, so the point is duty. One becomes not fruitive anymore, but one becomes duty-bound. And that's actually there in traditional culture of Vedic culture. That is the underlying thing. That whether my happiness is there or not, just like the mother, she always loves the child. She doesn't expect the child to, one day just pop up, go and cook for her and bring her breakfast to the table, to her bed when he's like 1 year old. She's not hoping for that. She doesn't even think about that. So the proper way of serving Krishna is actually more on the platform of duty. That love is on the platform of duty, no matter what. No matter what, through hell and high water. What's the other line from Parameshwar? That forevermore, no matter what. That is one of the brahmachari lines from Parameshwar Prabhu. Forevermore, no matter what. It doesn't matter. And that reciprocation, you don't know when it's going to come. But that reciprocation is also that difficulty that Krishna is putting us through. We have to see that. Tatenu kampam susikshimano bhunjayevatma kritam vipakam. Hridbhag vapubhir vidadham namaste jiveta mukte sadaya bhak. So one who actually earnestly waits while suffering the different sufferings that may come from his karma, but at the same time he pays obeisance to the Lord with his body, mind, and words. for him, liberation has become his rightful claim. So we're not looking for happiness in Krishna consciousness. In the beginning, yes. I also came and I asked Krishna, because I come from a Hindu background, and I said, Krishna, give me nice test scores, give me a nice girlfriend, and give me a nice car and a nice job. Bus, that's it. Bus means that's all, everything encompassed. Bus, that's all. Yeah. And so Krishna gave all that. What do you want? He's the Lord of all worlds. What do you want? He gave all that. And then I realized, oh, this is all trash. It's like, it doesn't help any. It's not useful to me. Krishna kind of drove that into me. That's mercy. Actually, I'm sure Prabhupada says that in many places. But it depends, what do you want? You want happiness in this world? Yeah, Krishna will give it to you. You want happiness from chanting the holy name? Yeah, you can get it. It's a kalpa vriksha. It can give you all that. But Krishna generally, out of love, just like out of love, a parent shows the child, even though the child doesn't want to learn something particular, and he doesn't want to undergo difficulty, the parent puts the child under difficulty in order to teach it a lesson. So Krishna we may have to go through all of that, but then we have to have the proper vision of what is devotion service, what is that duty, what is that love for Krishna. So there's many aspects of it, but the underlying core thing about love is duty bound to love Krishna, no matter what, forever and more. So, yeah. So you're looking for reciprocation, but actually we're just looking to serve, not even for reciprocation. Actually, the devotees sometimes when they get reciprocation, it's like that reciprocation sometimes can become a burden in their service, so they pray to the Lord to remove that reciprocation. And that we have that devotee who's fanning, and he becomes overwhelmed with ecstasy and he can't fan anymore, so he prays, oh please, let the ecstasy go away so I can continue my service to Krishna. So service, duty service, these are the things to remember in our spiritual lives. Okay, we should probably chant a little bit. Is there anything else? Any other questions? Nothing? Okay, all right. Can I get some beads too? Real quick. So we'll chant a little bit. So everybody's used beads before? No? Okay. So there's this little tuft of hair here, and away from that, on the other side, with your middle finger and thumb on top. Yeah? And so there's 108 beads, and each bead we're chanting the whole mantra, and after you chant one whole mantra, you move to the next one. And the way to meditate here is actually not just meditation, it's a prayer to Krishna. It's a lot more than meditation. We're actually praying to establish that loving relationship with Krishna, to come in service of Krishna. So the whole mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That's one bead, and then you move to the next one, and you move to the next one, and continue like that all the way to the other side. We won't do all the way to the other side. We'll just do a little bit. We'll do like 5 minutes. That's a good. I like the timing better than So we'll do 5 minutes. Everybody just in unison. So please focus just on the sound vibration of the mantra. And so I'm going to set a timer here, and so we'll do it all together. Okay? Easy? Everybody kind of got it? Yeah? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, thank you very much. So if you don't have beads, you're welcome to keep them. If you would like to give a small donation for them, that'll be very nice for us to get some more and be able to hand out some more to others. Please do this every day. It is a very good practice to begin. You're doing it? Trying. Okay, please keep on going. The more you do it, the more encouragement it gives you, the more you'll find your life becomes satisfying amongst even all of greatest calamities that are there, being absorbed in the holy name of Krishna. So, okay, thank you very much. There's a lot of books back there that you can get and study and read and understand. There's a lot of prasadam downstairs, that food which has been offered to Krishna, called prasadam, the mercy of the Lord. So you can go and partake in that. Take as much as you like, which is a request. Please do not throw any away. It's been cooked with, hopefully, some love. Please don't throw any away. The program is here every week. Could change, possibly, but there will be an announcement of that when there is some level of change, if that is coming in. So thank you very much. We also have weekly programs every day in the morning. We start at 4:30 in the morning. There's a class every day at 7:35 or 7:30. That goes on till about 9 o'clock. Breakfast is there afterwards. So please feel free to come through. The women always have something going on, some classes and so on. So do the men. So please, you can come and inquire about how to engage more in Krishna consciousness, whether you want to do some service. There's service available, or whether you want to just come and study and learn a little bit more. So, here for you to come and do. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Hare Krishna. We take card. We take everything. You keep with you. Keep it for you. Naveen. Oh, nice to see you. I thought you had a karate thing on today. I was like, he looks like he came straight from karate. Huh?